Hey, fifth grade. Today we're going to be talking about the Louisiana Purchase. And we're going to just jump right into it by taking a look at this map here. Excuse me. The orange area, that's basically these are all the states they were in the United States in the around the year 1800 or so. And it includes the 13 original colonies slash 13 original states, plus Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and we have some other territories: Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, and Mississippi. This is the United States where I'm moving the cursor around. That's the entire United States at the time. Now, about where this purple line is right here that I'm tracing down that heads south, that's about where the Mississippi River is. And the Mississippi River was extremely important at that time because it was uh, it's basically like it's important for shipping. It's important for being able to move things quickly. Um, it's really equivalent to loading up your whatever you have for sale in modern days onto a jet airplane and flying it someplace. It's just a very, very fast way to move your goods that you have for sale. And President Jefferson wanted to secure the rights to the port at the end of the Mississippi River. If we go down to the very end of the Mississippi River, right down here where I'm moving the mouse, that's where the city of New Orleans is. And New Orleans was a French city, as was all of what is labeled Louisiana Purchase. That all belonged to France at the time. And President Jefferson wanted American farmers to be able to sell their goods to countries overseas and be able to ship them quickly. And they wanted to, President Jefferson wanted to be able for farmers to put their uh, put their crops on boats, sell their boats down the Mississippi River to New Orleans, and then put them on, sell them there and put them on other ships and send them to Europe. But France was in control of New Orleans at the time. So President Jefferson he sends some men to France to negotiate to see if the city of New Orleans can be purchased. And if the United States controlled the port city of New Orleans, then his goal, President Jefferson's goal of being able to use the Mississippi River as a easy, fast way to transport goods for sale would be realized. So President Jefferson sent James Monroe and Robert Livingston to France, and they started to negotiate with the leaders of France at the time. And at the time, France was controlled by a man named Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon is a very, very famous general. He was emperor of France. He was taking over a lot of Europe at the time with his armies, and he was at war. And because Napoleon was at war, he needed money to fund his war effort. And so let's back up just a little bit. So President Jefferson sent Robert Livingston and James Monroe to negotiate to purchase New Orleans from France for the sum of $10 million. And Napoleon hits back and says, well, wait a minute, you can just purchase the entire Louisiana territory, and I'm only going to up the price to $15 million. And of course, President Jefferson jumps all over that deal because the Louisiana territory was 827,000 square miles, and the United States bought that from France for $15 million, and that means that they were buying a square mile for $18. I mean, that's just like the deal of all time. That's the best, cheapest, huge land deal in history. The amount of land purchased is just unbelievable, and getting it for $18 a square mile. We're not talking a square a square acre. Land in modern day, just purchasing an acre, which is a very small amount of land, nowhere near the size of a square mile, could cost several $1,000s. And the Louisiana Purchase is made for $18 a square mile. And when this purchase went through, we got all this area here that's labeled Louisiana Territory, and that doubles the size of the United States, completely doubles the size of the U.S. And it includes land that's going to end up being 15 different states. Almost all of Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, part of North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. All of that becomes part of the United States after the Louisiana Purchase. So the Louisiana Purchase completely doubles the size of the United States. And after the Louisiana Purchase is made, that starts getting a lot of Americans thinking that, hey, we should be in control of the entire North American continent, the area that we see here on the map. So that gets people starting to think, hey, not only should the United States be this area where we're moving the mouse and this area that we just bought, it should also include all of this. And basically, that gets people thinking about westward expansion, moving west, settling in the Louisiana Purchase territory, and then moving and taking Oregon and the area that is now Nevada, California, Spain. All that was owned by Spain at the time, Texas. But that gets people, Americans, thinking, hey, we're going to control the entire continent, basically from the Atlantic Ocean over here to the Pacific Ocean over here. And that's known as manifest destiny. And that really starts people thinking about, we're going to control the entire continent. The United States is going to take up all of this land. And that all got started with Thomas Jefferson's masterful purchase of the Louisiana Territory for $15 million. Let's take a look at our questions for this week. Question number 1. Explain why President Jefferson wanted the port city of New Orleans include at least 2 facts from the text. Go back through what the text that's above the questions, reread them, find 2 facts, put them there. That's 2 sentences. Each fact is a sentence. Question 2, why was France so eager to sell land to the United States? And you can answer that in 1 sentence. It needs to be a legitimate sentence. And then describe the land that was part of this purchase, include 5 facts from the text. I want you to, there's a large section in the text. I didn't read it all word for word. There's a large section of the text that just describes the Louisiana Purchase. This is an area where you can talk about some of the states that were within the Louisiana Purchase in modern day. You can talk about other ways they describe it in the text. I didn't read it all to you. You'll be responsible for that. You're looking for 5 details, 5 facts from the text. If you have any questions, you guys know how to contact me. You can send me a message on Class Tag. You can have your parents call or text me. You can send me an email. You can send me a message through Google Classroom. As always, take your time and do your best, and you will be extremely successful. Catch you later.